Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Hello Magazine is apparently okay with the future king and family seemingly almost always being on vacation. They write, William and Kate will join the king at his Aberdeenshire retreat. For the Waleses who visited Europe earlier in the school holidays, the trip will enable them to relax in privacy and spend precious time with the king, who relishes being with his grandchildren. Grandpa Wales, as the youngsters named him when he was still the Prince of Wales, will almost certainly take the children on nature walks around the estate. All that time on the secret super-yacht must have been exhausting. Meanwhile, William and Kate's move to Forest Lodge comes with consequences for some. Two families previously living in nearby Crown Estate cottages have been asked to vacate, reportedly to maintain privacy around the royal couple's new residence. While the tenants were not formally evicted and have since been rehoused within the estate, sources said they were surprised by the request to move. One insider remarked, those houses are very close to the lodge, so they're not going to want any Tom, Dick or Harry living in those houses if they're going to be royals there. Let's take a second to imagine a headline in which Harry and Meghan are requesting people move so that they can have privacy. Our royal insider, Deep Crown, tells us, Her late Majesty would have raised an eyebrow at that, I can tell you. The bit that's got my back up is these poor families being turfed out of their cottages so the Wales can have their privacy. Surprised to be ordered to leave, according to the reports. I mean, really, this is exactly the sort of high-handed nonsense that gets people's backs up about the monarchy. Elizabeth would have been mortified, absolutely mortified, at the headlines this generates. The Queen lived at the same desk, in the same study, for 70 years. She understood that stability, real stability, comes from within, not from your postcode. The 8 bedrooms versus 4 is interesting too. They're clearly settling in for the long haul, planning to stay even when William becomes king. Smart planning, I'll give them that, but the symbolism of needing more space, more privacy, more distance, it rather goes against everything the late Queen stood for about being accessible and present even when circumstances were beastly. In The Royalist, Tom Sykes writes, For a couple who seem keen on staying relatable, the spinning of this house moves lands somewhere between baffling and plain stupid. William has spent the past year casting himself as a reformer who wants to make the monarchy fit for purpose. But it's hard to imagine anything less modern or relatable than announcing during the worst cost of living crisis in decades that you're moving house to emotionally reset and your new house happens to be a manor on Crown land worth north of £16 million. The late Queen might well have approved the move itself. Kings and queens do live in palaces, not cottages after all, but would never have had the gall to pitch such a move as a therapeutic necessity. You guys want a bigger house, just own it. Lest you think Kate is some sort of always vacationing princess who evicts people from their homes, the media wants you to know about the sacrifices she makes. A cast member of the Real Housewives of London, Panthea Parker, whose children attend Lambrook School alongside Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, told Hello Magazine that Catherine never misses her children's matches. Parker explained, I see her quite a few times because my son's school plays against her son's school. So they play rugby and football against each other, so we're always at her school and my school. I do see her a lot, but not to talk to, just from afar. Though not personally close to the princess, Parker said the royal has left a lasting impression, describing her as classy and so lovely. She added, the sacrifice of never missing any of her children's matches is really amazing. Parker did not comment on all the horrible mothers who never attend any matches because they are working in the afternoon. More Palace in just a moment. King Charles began his summer retreat at Balmoral Castle, continuing a long-standing royal tradition with a formal arrival ceremony at the gates of the historic Scottish estate. Dressed in a traditional tweed jacket and kilt, the king inspected a guard of honour from Balaclava Company, 5th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland. He was also greeted by one of the monarchy's most endearing ceremonial figures, Corporal Creighton IV, the Shetland pony mascot of the regiment. Known for his cheeky antics, including once nibbling Prince Harry's fingers and taking a bite out of the late Queen's bouquet, the pony behaved impeccably this time for the king. Prince Andrew has quietly arrived at Balmoral, according to a source who told the Mail's Richard Eden. Andrew arrived at Balmoral on Friday. He was on his own with none of the security he used to have. He is believed to be staying at a lodge on the estate. It is not yet known whether he and the Duke of York will spend any time with Charles. The king is being stalked by a panther. There are fresh reports of a large panther-like creature near Highgrove House. A local dog walker said she witnessed the animal cornering a fox at dusk before her 3 dogs startled it and sent it running. The fox, she added, appeared to stick close by afterwards, seemingly seeking protection. Big cat expert Rick Minter, who investigates such sightings and runs a podcast on the subject, confirmed he is looking into the case. He noted that another resident recently described seeing a black panther stalking deer near Stroud, with the animal's fur reflecting an orange hue that suggested a leopard in its black form. The reports coincidentally come as Mr. Minter curates an exhibition titled Depicting Britain's Beasts, the Art of British Big Cats at the Nature in Art Gallery in Gloucester, which runs until Friday. What should be a joyful milestone choosing a godparent for his newborn daughter has become a diplomatic tightrope for the Duke of Westminster, Hugh Grosvenor, as the chasm between Prince William and Prince Harry continues to complicate matters behind palace gates. The Duke and his wife, Olivia, welcomed their first child, a daughter named Cosima, last month, and while William has reportedly already been asked to be a godfather, the couple is said to still be considering whether to extend the same honour to Harry. Grosvenor is one of the very few individuals who has maintained close personal ties with both brothers since childhood. In fact, he is already godfather to both Prince George and Prince Archie, making him the only mutual friend trusted with such a role by both households. Grosvenor's own wedding to Olivia Henson last year in Chester was a subtle but telling moment in the feud. Though the Sussexes were initially invited, the couple ultimately did not attend, reportedly to avoid any drama or media frenzy that might detract from the occasion. William, meanwhile, served as an usher. It's incredibly sad it has come to this, one friend of the brothers told The Times. Hugh is one of very close friends of William and Harry's, who has maintained strong bonds and a line of communication with both. But he realizes it's unlikely to patch up before the wedding. There you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice. And now check us out on Facebook or Instagram. We're trying to build the community there. And you can actually go on Facebook now and see me unboxing Meghan Markle's As Ever Rosé, which arrived yesterday. So check it out on Facebook. Just search for Palace Intrigue or follow the link in our show notes, and be sure to subscribe or follow on the page. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.